Well, good morning, folks, and welcome back to the farm. It's a beautiful morning here. We're gonna have a busy day today on the farm. Actually, plans have changed. But first and foremost, I want to say, if this is early days for you, if you're just watching, this is your first video or one of the very first videos that you're watching, just really want to welcome you to the farm. We've had a surge of new subscribers over the last few days. And so in today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about what we're doing here on the farm, big picture wise, as well as some specific projects. And one of those specific projects is a barn build that we've actually got scheduled for late January, early February. But we're building a pad for the barn to go on. It's going to go right here, right where the sun's coming up. And that was supposed to happen next Monday. But the guy that's building it actually called me yesterday and said, I don't have to work tomorrow, being today. And so now can I come and do this tomorrow, which is today? And it's like, oh, sure, let's get after it, right? You know, it's late fall, early kind of winter here. Usually the ground is frozen. Usually we're not able to execute projects like this. And we really want to take advantage of the weather, because if we're able to move some dirt to build that pad, then that's fantastic. If the ground freezes and I can't move dirt, then I got to bring in gravel and compact it all. And that adds up big picture. So I'd rather not do that. But because I wasn't expecting to have to do anything until next Monday, I still have to remove a little bit of fence right here to allow the piece of equipment to go from one side of the fence to the other. And the horses are still in this paddock over here. So I'm gonna run over there and let them loose into the 30-acre field just south of this one. And then they won't get in any way of any equipment. Anyways, aside from that, I said I would give you a little bit of intro into what we're doing here on the farm, big picture wise. So yeah, if this is early days for you and you're watching one of our first videos, this is Kirkfell Farm. This is our house. We have 143 acres here. We do some less conventional farming practices. We try to focus on regenerative agriculture. So yeah, horses aren't all we have. We have sheep, we've got pigs, we've got a whole pile of chickens. Every summer, actually, we run chicken tractors across the whole yard. And this year we raised 75. So that's our whole meat supply, or whole chicken meat supply anyways, for the year. And then we have a massive garden, about a quarter of an acre garden. And that's supplied, I wouldn't say our whole year's worth of vegetables, because really the big success this year was potatoes and carrots. And you can only eat so many potatoes and carrots before you get sick of potatoes and carrots. But we were able to share the potatoes and carrots with friends, with family, and we still got more than we could ever hope for. So the garden is fantastic. Hey, look, there's some furry friends coming up. This is Elsie. Elsie's our Jenny donkey. Millie here, a little miniature pony. That's Rosie in the back. And Gus, the little stud over there. Well, used to be a stud. We had him gelded last year. But yeah, like I say, I got to kick these out to the south field, and I just built this temporary fence. The whole point of this fence was so that the barn pad could sit right here. But then we realized how much fill we were going to need, which we were going to borrow out of, there's kind of a rise in the field right here, some high ground, and there's a low spot over there where the water is going to pool. And I don't want water pooling beside the barn. So we're actually going to dig a swale into here and allow the drainage to go down and then get slowed down at a lower point in the field. We want to capture the water up high. We don't want it to just rush down the hill and cause erosion. But we do want to make sure that we have good drainage away from any kind of infrastructure. We just fork some old hay over to the pigs here, give them a little bit of a snack. Some of it they're going to drag into their shelter and make a bed out of it. So that won't go to waste. And as you can hear behind me, the guy is actually here with the skid steer, and he's just going to get started there on stripping some topsoil, get that all set aside, and get working on that clay pad. Pretty exciting times. So life just wouldn't be the same without a change of plan. Yet again, Buddy came and he was able to strip off the topsoil where the pad is going to go, and then unfortunately got called away to work. And so he's not going to be back now till Sunday, but whatever, that's cool. I mean, we got this much done. He wasn't even coming till Monday, and here we are. what day is it today? Thursday, and we're half done already. So we're ahead of the game. So no concerns there. Didn't really have to take lots because we only know, well, we got about 3/4 of an inch to an inch of topsoil, basically just taking the grass and the roots off. And then we've got really good solid clay down here. Yeah, see, this is the stuff we're working with here. Man, the guys that build highways would pay big bucks for this stuff. It's just fantastic. So the other day I put out a video really explaining the context of this project. It's called Why I'm Happily Going Broke Farming. If you haven't already watched it, would really encourage you to go back. It's going to explain lots about what we're doing here, building this, you know, really, really expensive piece of infrastructure that will never pay for itself. And we're cool with that because we're building our homestead for our kids essentially. And so we got no issue, you know, making an investment that we'll never see a return on tangibly. But there's obviously less tangible benefits. Anyways, every once in a while I put out a video like that, and it challenges some people to really think about what they're doing in life, and that one did. And sometimes people react well to that, sometimes people don't. And for the most part, you know, I welcome any and all feedback as long as everybody's playing nice in the sandbox and being mature. But yeah, that one's, you know, it was kind of a polarizing subject for some folks, I guess, and they thought it necessary to chime in and share their opinions, which, again, like I said, as long as it's mature and civil, I got no issue with that. But so I'm going to put this out there on the internet to see what comes back. And so today's daily reminder is that if you come across something, someone, some type of event that for any particular reason or circumstance offends you, well, imagine if you just took all the energy that you would expend on judgment and refocused that energy towards kindness, right? Approach it with kindness instead of judgment. Imagine the world we would live in. And the reason, of course, I say that is because, well, I'm a big believer in the law of attraction, and I firmly believe that anger begets anger as love begets love. And so if you want the world to be a better place, sometimes you just got to be a better person. Anyways, enough motivation for one day. It's kind of interesting now that the pad is kind of carved out. He's got the topsoil, like I said, and the grass kind of moved away. And it's not just 4 white pegs on the lawn. You can really kind of see the footprint and figure out, you know, okay, well, I can see how many sheep are going to fit in here, and the functionality of it is it's crazy how much it becomes more visible once you've got, you know, a real pallet there instead of just 4 sticks in the lawn. And so the plan with this barn, because it's 36 by 50, it'd be 12 feet tall. The plan for this is to be able to lamb earlier in the year. Right now we're pushed back into May. Because we get such terrible weather, you know, in January, February, March, February especially. But it would be nice to lamb in March, and then, you know, we've got some out of the elements options for that. Whereas right now they're in this little paddock here, and there's, you know, a 30 by, what is it? It's 30 feet long, and I think it's 8 feet wide, and it's just not enough, right? You can fit a handful of them in there for lambing, but if you have 2 at once, you're struggling. If you have 3 at once, you're panicking, and if you have more than 3, well, you're in a pickle. So by rights, when this is all said and done, we should be able to lamb 20 at a time. And I'm not saying we want to lamb 20 at a time, I'm just saying we'll have that capability. And obviously we don't have enough ewes to do that. And well, we do have enough ewes to do that, but I mean, it would be a Christmas miracle for that to all happen on one day. But it does give us lots of options for expanding our flock, and maybe down the road actually generating some real revenue with our sheep market. So this is our lambing shed that we have right now. It's just very small, very humble, as I said. And originally this was intended to just be a 3-sided open face shelter. And that first year we had lambs, it was minus 30 and the wind was blowing out of the east. It was absolutely miserable. So we had to box this side in really quick and protect those little lambs from the elements. But because this is just going to be now just a shelter, it won't have any function in lambing, then we're going to take power out of here. We got temporary power with extension cords that comes off of the heated waterer. So what I got to do here before the snow flies is actually get some exterior grade wire and staple it all along the fence all the way out to where the barn is going to be, and then put a GFCI outlet on one of the fence posts close to where the barn's going to be, and extension cord that I can plug into the heated water. And the reason being for that is just so this very first winter and into spring I can run, you know, an extension cord off of that pole to supply some lighting. So we're going to need a little bit of lighting in there because, well, we're going to have nothing. Now next year I'll come along with a ditch witch and we'll ditch power directly off the power pole, and then we'll have a breaker box inside so that we can have, you know, all the lighting we want, additional electrical outlets for things like heated water buckets and things like that. So we're going to go big for power to the barn. It just won't be until next year. Hey, so I mentioned earlier about how the potatoes and the carrots did fantastic. Well, what does fantastic look like? Well, it looks like the entire fridge, except this is one of two fridges, like full to the brim with carrots. The fridge in the house has all kinds of carrots in it too. There's not even any room for our eggs in there right now. So yeah, we're gonna have to get all these diced up, blanched, frozen, and stored for the winter here right away. The good news is though that I've got 8 kilos going out the door right now. So when life hands you carrots, you open a farm stand. So we're selling these babies for $3 a pound. You know, it's a little bit more than they cost in Walmart, but it's an awful lot less than I've seen around. So trying to pick the price in the middle, something fair, and make some room in the fridge. But for now, I think I'm gonna head inside. I gotta weigh these up and just fix up a cup of tea. So I'll let you go for now. I hope you have a fantastic evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.